Today is take 2 on the Porsche 356 gas tank insulation mat. I had attempted this with the propane torch and completely made a mess out of it. And I'm gonna try it again today with a new method. Thank you for all your suggestions, a lot of really good ideas on how to do it without ripping and getting it misplaced on the tank. So here we go again.
Garage time.
So most people tend to agree that it's probably best to start with the mat on the tank. It's such a large piece, especially when heated. It's so floppy and hard to handle. It's not a great way to accurately place it. It's just really difficult. And once it sticks, it's down for good. The other methods were, use a heat gun. And I did try on this sample piece, the heat gun, and it will get it hot enough, but it's really difficult to keep it even throughout the whole piece. So even on this small piece, it's difficult to heat this side and this side simultaneously, because by the time you move over here, this side's already cooled down and you just don't get enough heat into it. That's where the propane torch really did well. It did heat the entire thing evenly, and then you kind of saturate it with heat and it stayed liquid. The other method was like a smaller torch, like a propane torch, and it's kind of the same problem. It's a very localized heat, so you kind of tend burning some areas and then not getting some areas hot enough. Sometimes you learn the hard way, and that's just the way it goes. Luckily, the material is made here locally, and I highly suggest the person I used, Pete Albrecht. He's very generous, and he actually helped me out quite a bit on the second piece. So his feedback, and the best possible way to do this is to let it sit out in the sun and let it get really hot with direct sunlight on it. But it's gotta be a hot day, and right now it's December. So I grew up in the high desert here in California, and I know those hot days, and you can cook an egg on the asphalt. So that is the best way to do it. I'm gonna try to do something similar. I remember those days as a kid riding my bike. It's windy, it's dusty, it's super hot. So I thought, why not just create that here in my garage with a heat gun and circulate it through a little oven and kind of create my own desert climate here in the garage. So that's what I'm gonna try first. I think it's a low risk method. I made a box. Here's what I'm up to. I have the heat gun going into the box, and this is a thermocouple poked inside the box, so it's currently at 65.8. And I'm gonna turn it on, see how hot it can get inside, and hopefully we get that desert temperature we're after. So it's heating up pretty quick. There's 155 pretty quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a sample piece in there and see if it'll actually stick to the metal. Okay, let's see how it's doing. Yeah, you can see it oozing out a little bit when you push on it. So this does appear to be hot enough. I can feel it through the gloves. and it's on there. So with a little bit of pressure, you can see a little bit of pressure, it starts to ooze out. So that's what we want. If we push down, this will create a good seal. The temperature of the mat on the top, right now it's 123. It's been out for a few minutes, so I think 150 is a good amount, but this is definitely you know, holding it down. It's kind of a mess left over from last time, but no point in really cleaning all that off. I just want to make sure it's clean in the center hole there and clean around the perimeter, because this is all going to get covered up with the new pad. It's not stuck down because it's all cold, but I got it centered there in the center hole, and the perimeters are all good. So now it's time to heat it up and push it down. Here we go. Just a few weights here on the corners. Air is trying to get out, so I'm just trying to keep most of the air in. A lot of the air is coming out through this little hole right here, but that's okay. It still reaches, you know, right now it's 148, so it'll get there. It's just going to take a little longer because there's so much mass inside there. Probably good 20 minutes. It's about 130, 129 on the pad itself. So it's starting to get really soft and feels really good. Actually, I need some gloves. It's really heating up. So we're gonna go for another 10 minutes or so. Okay, it should be hot enough. Yeah, it's very, very supple. So I don't want to tear this part. There are the depressions there. Temperature's 137, which is, you know, maybe not quite enough. Let's see how we do. This part looks great right here. Little squeeze out right there. It's going pretty well, but I just closed the lid back up again, and I reoriented the heat gun to be a little bit more towards the filler neck side. What happened was it was really soft and squeezing really well on the, let's see, the driver's side, but the passenger side was still a little bit cold. And see, this is the kind of ooze out that I've seen in some of the factory pictures. And that is sort of inconsistent, but it's there. And I was able to get that in all the areas. So I'll show you once it cools down a little more, but I think it's good. This is that sample piece. And you know, this was heated with the propane torch, which definitely got lots of heat into it. This one's definitely stuck on. This is the one that's done here in my little homemade oven. And you can see that the squeeze out is pretty consistent between the two methods. And you know, this one you cannot pull off either. It's definitely on there. I think the trick is to get it up to about 150 degrees minimum. And that's where the stuff starts oozing out. So the tank is the same situation. It just took longer to heat it all up. It's already been about 5-10 minutes and this stuff is still holding a fair amount of heat. It's 113. So I'm gonna let it dry all the way or let it cool down all the way. And then I'll take it out and show you guys how it looks. So using a little bit of mineral spirits on some of the parts where my gloves kind of left some fingerprints on it. So that wasn't the easiest way to do it. I only spent like $8 on that insulation panel from Home Depot. It's a 4x8 sheet. It was just barely enough to kind of go around the tank. Had the neck there poking out. But that works. It really creates, like I said in the beginning, that desert climate, that kind of hot, windy air to just heat up the whole tank and let it soak in. So you get a uniform or almost uniform heat dissipation into the asphalt, and then to just push it down. That seemed to work pretty well. Like I said, if you can use sunshine, it just saves you a little time. I think it took me about 20-30 minutes of just heating to get the temperature of the mat up. So I was using this little infrared thermometer, and I do think the magic number is like 150 or above. I don't know that you can get it too hot. I don't think it starts to really get really liquid until like 300 degrees. So anywhere between 150 and 300 is perfect. If you put it out in the sunshine, you're probably gonna max out around 150. So you just kind of push down a little harder and it does stick. It's definitely on there, not coming off. So you can definitely see those depressions a little bit. There is a circle here, and when I was pushing on it, I think there was a little air trapped in there, so I couldn't get that depression pushed all the way down. But you know, I don't think the factory spent a lot of time, you know, getting it perfect either. So it's a little bit lumpy in those areas, but there's some circular depressions there in the tank, so that's normal. Here's how it looks from the front. You can see the ooze out is pretty even all throughout the sides. That's where I pushed on the sides really carefully to make sure it doesn't peel up. And it's definitely, you know, really quiets the tank down. There it is on that side. A little tab right there. It sticks down like a little tongue. That tongue, you know, that won't come off either. Once it's melted, it's on there. It's really strong stuff. And like I said, it really quiets the tank down. So I call it a success. Take two.